Hello, everyone. Welcome back or welcome here if you're brand new. I am just Shiny, and yes, I'm 30. Yes, I'm 30, baby. So I'm just getting back from my vacation. This is Friday, so this is a week after my birthday. And honey, a time was had, boo. A time was had, bro. So many people were so excited that I was turning 30. They were in disbelief, honey. They were in disbelief. Girl, I had a birthday twin there, and she was thick. Dick, right now I'm low-key regretting that I did not sleep with the birthday girl. Could you imagine? Yes, I could if I was 20. That was my thoughts. I was like, if I was 20, I would definitely, but no. I'm trying to make great decisions in this new chapter, and I was just like, I can't sleep with somebody without, getting them tested, no matter how good and scrumptious they look. You feel me? Anyway, you came here for the TikTok scary stories, and we're about to do that. Before we go in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and ring that bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video.
So I grew up in a town called Fort Erie. It's a small town in Ontario, Canada. It borders Buffalo, New York. And Fort Erie has a lot of historical significance. So Fort Erie is a small town where nothing much happens now. But historically, it's a perfect recipe for some paranormal stuff to go down. So the Battle of 1812 was fought in Fort Erie. The Underground Railroad was something that is directly underneath of the town. So in the 1840s, 1850s, abolitionists developed a system of underground railroads to help slaves achieve freedom and help to escape. Some escaped, some didn't make it out of the tunnels. So that tied in with the War of 1812. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of stuff going on in Fort Erie. So I moved 11 times while living in Fort Erie in the span of 13 years. And in almost every single house I lived in, no matter where in the town it was, crazy shit happened. Like in every single house. And I moved out of Fort Erie 8 years ago to Toronto. And it's like once I moved, things stopped happening. And it's not like when I was it's when I was a kid. I'm like, this is like stuff was happening when I was 17 years old, like right before I moved. So like it's the town. The town's cursed. So the story I'm gonna start with is one that I was like 11. So it's not like I was so young that I couldn't remember it. And we lived in this house that was built like on the grave sites of like soldiers and indigenous people. And there's a house like right down the street from me. And in like the 2010s area, the house was doing like renovations, and it was like big news that they were literally pulling bodies out of the ground, like underneath all of these like big beautiful houses and like stuff that's on like the Niagara Boulevard. Like in today, they're still pulling like corpses out of the ground that like houses have just been built on top of because there's just so much death. So we move into this house, and like off the bat, bad vibes, like super bad vibes, really creepy, just like unsettling feelings. Um, so I'm living there with my mom and her partner and my twin sister. So it's also nice to have a twin sister validate your feelings. So throughout living in this house, I would always beg my sister to let me sleep in her bedroom because I was always afraid. I didn't know, like, not anything particularly, but I was afraid. So there was one night that I was sleeping in her room with her, but we were, we're giggling, we're doing sleepover stuff. And outside of her bedroom window, which just faces our neighbor's house, who was like a little old lady who lived by herself, we started hearing like whispers. It started as whispers, and it sounded like there was multiple voices. Like it sounded like there was like a room full of people just like, and we both like dead quiet, like dead silent, like looking at each other and just like staring at each other. And the whispers started to grow, and soon it sounded like there was a room full of people having a party, just like chatting. Like, it's like words, you can't really hear words. It just becomes like a big kind of like hum of like sounds and voices. It built, and then all of a sudden, nothing. It stopped. And we were like, what the fuck was that? So obviously the next day we tell like our mom, we're like, we heard, and she was like, oh, that's probably just Betty having people over. Mom, why is Betty, our 85-year-old neighbor, having people over at night, a huge party? So she talks to Betty. Did you have no people were over? No people were over. So that's like weird, but we're like, maybe Betty did have a party. Couple weeks later, my sister's bedroom, the same bedroom. We'd had puppies, so we let the dog out, and my mom was like, "Go close your sister's bedroom door so he doesn't get in there and tear stuff up." Uh, so I walk over, I close her bedroom door. She's not in the her room. She's sitting on the couch, and I pull the bedroom door closed, and I just kind of zoned out. I don't know. I zoned out, and I was just kind of like disassociating, my hand on her doorknob, still, and the doorknob starts like moving. Like somebody, like my hand is on the, and it starts shaking and moving like there's somebody inside trying to open the door. And I jump back and I release it, and I'm like, somebody's trying to oh, you're imagining it. I was not imagining it. That door was moving. Like that door handle, someone was trying to get out of that room, the same room that we heard the voices in. So this is a different place. My family owns these apartments, really old apartments built in like 1910 or something, 1902, some 19 something. And this one's kind of an interesting twist because it isn't just like we lived in this haunted house and we moved. Everyone in my family, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my brothers, we've all lived in these apartments at different times throughout our lives, like without each other. Like, we all have our own stories. My my brother's wife, when she lived there, she would always complain about the hot water turning on. Like she'd be in the tub, and it's this big claw tub, like old, and she'd talk about how the hot water would just turn on when she was in the tub. And I know the story, and I've heard the story. I lived there with my mom when I was a kid. I see my mom a couple weeks ago, and I'm talking to her about the apartment. Like that place was freaky. She said, yeah, the hot water would always just turn on whenever I was having a bath. Like they would just, and I'm like, these two stories, like these two ladies I've never met, and they have the exact same story. There was a time I was 17 when this happened, and I was in my bedroom, and my dad and my sister weren't home, so I was home alone, and I was always freaked out. So I was literally hiding in my back bedroom because I was like, I don't feel like comfortable in this apartment. It's just bad vibes. And I'm like doing my thing in my room, and I hear just like a huge crash, like just like a super loud, like alarming sound, and I was terrified. I was like, I'm not coming out of my room. I'm not going to investigate. Like that's how people die. That's the horror movies. So I'm sitting in my room for like it took me like an hour before I built up the courage to like go into the living room kitchen where I heard it and like investigate. And when I turned the corner and looked in the kitchen, the drawer that had the spoons and the knives and everything, it was pulled out of, and these are old raggedy ass like drawers. Like you gotta wiggle those things to get them out, to get them open. This drawer was ripped out and flung across the room. Like someone and the silverware was everywhere. Like some spirit had enough force to rip open this drawer and throw this drawer full of silverware across the room. I left it there. I didn't touch it. I was like, I'm not touching this until somebody comes home. My brother has come home to all the knives being off. He was a chef, so he had like a knife wall, all of his knives on the ground. We have like video evidence of like apparitions and stuff. Like my aunt, when she lived there with her partner, like he was like lucid dreaming, and he would dream about these spirits like talking to him and him going into different, like, y'all, this town is haunted. This is a really long-winded TikTok. No one's gonna watch this, but there's another house I lived in on North Street. And when I was living there, everything bad happened to like the men in my life. I was a kid at this point, so I don't know. These are like stories I'm taking from my mom. So in the like 2 years we lived there, my dad broke his leg mysteriously. He was just walking in the backyard, and all of a sudden on the ground, leg broke. Even he says he doesn't know what happened. My uncle died of an aneurysm. My sister's boyfriend, who lived in the house at the time, got in a really bad accident, and my nephew was born with his intestines outside. So just like bad vibes. And weird things happening. So my mom contacts a medium, and she comes in to the house, and she says there is a spirit here who like doesn't like men, doesn't fuck with men. And my mom's like, that checks out because all this crazy shit's been happening. And just the cherry on top, I remember my twin sister and I, again, there's two of us. I remember we would play in the backyard of this house at a fence. And there was a little boy who lived on the other side of the fence, our little neighbor boy. And it was this little blonde boy. And I remember playing with him. And for my whole life, I remember playing with him. And when I was like maybe 15, I brought it up. I was like, oh, the little boy who lived next door, like Donna's kid. And my mom was like, no, Donna never had a son. And I'm like, yes, he did, like, yes, she did. I remember playing with this kid. And she's like, no, like, she never did. And she's like, but you and your sister would always sit at the fence and you guys would talk about this little boy. And my sister, my twin sister, she remembers the little boy too, same way I do. And the medium came in and she said, there's a little boy that your daughters play with in the back. And my mom said, I know. Anyway, those are all my stories. That's my long-winded TikTok.
Y'all, go follow these creators. They have some good stories. Hers is just like, what? And the fact that she had a twin just makes it everything. It's like, okay, somebody who I can be like, you experienced this with me, didn't you? You know what I'm saying? Well, it could also be a bad thing because I heard that twins, they can have shared memories. Like one twin can have this, like this happen to them, this experience, and the other twin just knows about it or felt like they had the experience because they twin did. So maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing. But in that situation, that last story, it was a good thing. You be like, you remember that? You remember that, sis? Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, the first part, the whispers. You remember when they say if you hear whispering, you're not supposed to acknowledge that you hear whispering? Yeah, I would have been freaked up in that situation because I would have done. I'd be like, you hear that? You hear that, right? Like everything would have stopped. Like, talking about, oh yeah, our elderly neighbor was having a party, a rager. Like, bro, get serious, honey. And the freaking doorknob. Oh no, can you imagine you're closing the door and feeling the doorknob turn as you're like about to release it? No, that's scary. Because what was in her room? Clearly something happened in her room, in her sister's room, clearly, because that's where all the activity was, apparently. The next story, bro, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for not going to investigate, but I cannot say that I would not go investigate. I would definitely get a weapon and I would definitely go investigate. It was whatever it was trying to get your attention, making all that racket. I would have been like, went up in there like, I'm not about to clean this up. The same way you just threw this drawer, you need to get it back in the freaking cabinet, put the stuff back in there. Actually, first, before you put all the silverware, wash that. Because I'm not about to clean up your mess. You did this, so you can fix it. You can clean it up. What are you doing, ghost? Not here, not in this house. Who you is? Who you think you is? The last story, yeah. Playing with a little kid that's not there. Imaginary little kid. Honey, what? All the men in your family getting hurt? Nah, that ghost gotta go. Because what are we doing? That's money out of our pockets. Like stuff that's happening that's caused by you. I'm not getting anything, nothing. I'm not giving nothing that power. No, that's not possible. You're not about to be breaking legs and stuff. Like, you ain't got that much power, honey. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Because no, you feel me? Wildin'.
I hate talking about this. I have tried filming this video 3 times and every single time it's messed up, which just makes me more determined. So here we are. This dates back to 2017 when I was with my ex. So basically where I live, there is a valley. It's very pretty. People come specifically to visit it. But it's quite dark. A lot of deaths happen there. Back in 2017, it was November time. It was cold, it was late, but we liked going for walks late at night out to the valley. Now, when you walk into the valley, you've got there's like a road in the middle, and then there's a valley that goes up one side and a valley that goes up the other. If you're looking at the valley, to the left is just hill. To the right, if you walk along the side and around the front, you've got the water. And then it like piles up rocks up top, which you can climb to, but you need to like climb up them. So this one night we go out there, it's super late at night, pitch black, no street lights, no nothing. We walk up the side of the valley round, we sit on one of the benches and we're just sitting there chilling, listening to music, talking. Suddenly at the very top, one of the rocks started pulsating like a light on it. Like, it wasn't like quick, it would kind of fade in and then fade back out and fade in and fade back out. And I pointed it out to him. I said, that's really weird. Like, it's midnight in the middle of nowhere. That's really weird. He kept saying, it's the cars. I kept saying, the road is here. The rock that was lighting up was like up here and around the corner facing the water. And I was like, that's not a car, and if it was cars, then the rest of the hill would be lighting up. And he was like, no, it's a car. I'm gonna message Harry. This goes on another half an hour or so. The light would like suddenly light up and disappear, light up and disappear, and then it would disappear for 5 minutes, and then it would start coming back again. I said, that's really weird. Like, I don't like that. That gives me a bad feeling. And he said, maybe someone's camping up there. I said, nobody in their right mind at this time of year will be camping up there. That's just not happening. And he said, it's going to be a person or it's going to be a car. I said, that is neither, and I have got a really bad feeling. It's now 1:30, 2 in the morning, and are like, let's go. So we're walking back, and you have to walk down the valley. Like, you have to walk back down the path to the front of the valley to walk back through the village. The path's quite narrow, like it's a single file, and he's walking in front of me and I'm behind him, and suddenly I just hear footsteps. I have never moved so fast than when I heard footsteps, because firstly, nobody would be out there without a torch. Secondly, I know for a damn fact there was nobody with us. And thirdly, the feeling I got told us to go now. I'm now clinging onto him like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. So we leave, we go back to his, all is fine. He kept saying it's a car, it was a person. I kept saying that was neither, that was weird, I didn't like that. It should also be noted that there is wildlife in the area, but it wasn't wildlife walking. We're walking downhill on concrete, like you can hear footsteps. I'm at my house, and I've always had weird stuff happen at my house. This is just a thing of life for me at this point. I was in my bedroom and I was getting ready to go to sleep, and bear in mind it's November time, so we had the heating on, all the windows were shut, all the doors were closed, it's late. And I'm laying in bed reading a book, and I used to have an icicle pendant. If I can find one, I'll insert a picture here.
Here is the pendants that I was talking about.
If you were to hit the lampshade, because it was an icicle lampshade, they would all kind of splay out, like they would spread apart and fall because it's individual hanging sticks.
And for reference, you can see them all hanging individually.
And suddenly light starts moving, and I was like, is it broken? And as I look up, the lampshade, all I have is Tipp-Ex, but I'm going to show you with the Tipp-Ex. The lampshade, all icicles are moving in sync, and it's just doing this. It's just swinging backwards and forwards. I'm frozen, just in fear as this lampshade kind of swings backwards and forwards. I call for my mum, she comes in, she stops it, both of us are like, that's really weird, and just continue about our lives. I was like, that was horrific. I hated every second of that. I've never again seen it do anything like that, or had seen it do anything like that, but that lived with me. And then it gets worse. I wake up to a really bad feeling, just really, really, really bad gut feeling. So I roll over and I look at my phone, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I hate waking up at that time. So I roll my eyes, I'm like, I don't want to be awake right now. Roll back over, and I had this massive wardrobe. I've drawn a picture, but if I can find a picture of it, I'll insert it.
Here is wardrobe in question.
But this is what it looked like. So you had two double wardrobes, you had a vanity in the middle, and this drawer you couldn't open. Like, you had to hold onto it and then like pull it back with your full body weight. Like, as much as you could, you had to pull it, and even then it didn't always open.
I took a screenshot. You can see the marks for how difficult it is to open this drawer.
So you had a double wardrobe, a vanity drawer here, and then 3 individual cupboards at the top. They like used to pop open every now and then, so I put hairbands, like an elastic hairband, on each of the doors. Like, they were always on there because sometimes they would just pop open.
As you can see, I can't zoom in, but here you can see the elastic band that I had around them.
Every single one of them are opening. All of them. Even the vanity is slowly opening, and I remember thinking, I'm dreaming. Or I just have this vivid memory of me laying there going, I'm dreaming, rolling back over and going to sleep, thinking, this is a dream, this isn't real, there is no way, there is no way, there is no way. Wake up the next morning, all of them are open, all of the hairbands are off, and this was a floor-to-ceiling unit. Like, I used to have to stand on a chair to get to the top to take the hair tie off to get into it. Since then, so many things have happened. Things open in my house at the minute. Lights turn on, lights turn off, doors open, doors close.
Girl, I removed the balloons because the air came on and it became distracting. I want you to be like, oh, what's in her background? Now the balloons moving, so I moved the balloons. Okay. Forgot to mention in that last video, the one we just saw, well, not the one we just saw, but the one before that with the drawers and her twin sister, the background. Did y'all see that lint? And when she moved her hand, it moved. And then another piece of lint was just like, it was like up. And then it slowly moved. All, y'all saw that? Y'all saw that. I saw that. Y'all saw that. Yeah. Anyway, this video, honey, why? Honey, why? Why? Not even gonna ask. Not even. Why is an ugly letter? Do not like the letter Y because it's just too much. It's just like, what? Nope. That is so... People, why are we going walking on a trail at 12 o'clock at night? Well, 12 o'clock in the morning. 12 o'clock in the morning. 12 o'clock in the morning. Why did we decide, oh, it's 12 o'clock. Dark as crap. We're going to go walk on a trail in the valley that has one way in. Like, you got to go down the little narrow trail to get in and a little narrow trail to get out. I don't understand why people do what they do, because that sounds crazy. I would not be doing it unless I'm like want to get an adrenaline rush and I'm with a group of people, and it's more than just one Black person. There's more than just me out there. There's a few of us, because I'm not about to be the first one getting got. I'm not getting got. So that is the first question. That's the first problem I saw. You going somewhere, walking through a trail at night with just you and your boyfriend, no weapons, I'm assuming. So you're out there, you looking, and you see a glowing rock, and your boyfriend is trying to not be scared or scare you, like, oh, that was just cars. We know the landscape of this because we come walk here every day, it seems like. Honey, walking back and you hear footsteps, oh, something's following you. And in that moment, we would have been fighting like, you cannot come with me. So let's handle this business right here. Let me give you these hands right here, honey. Because the moment you get in my house, oh no, that's not going to happen. Because we fighting, bro. We fighting. Ain't no way. You get back to your house and stuff is happening? At that moment, I would have called my boyfriend. Because, like, he would have been there getting whatever he brought, he said that wasn't there, out. Because what are we doing? Moving your drawers, honey? That was just like the other story. What is that? What is that? Like, this ain't your house, so why are you over here being nosy? Looking in my drawers and stuff and leaving them open at that. Like, if you open something, you should close it because this is not your house. What are we doing? These ghosts are wilding out. And she said it was in November. So yeah, it would not have been animals because not a lot of animals are out in November. They're like hibernate. I know here, apparently deers don't hibernate because they just be, these deers are really just chilling. They're real comfortable just being out in the open in people's yards, just chilling. Oh, girl. And they know better to cross the road because I see them. I be in the back countryside and they'll just be waiting and they be looking both ways. Like, they so smart to be dumb animals. I heard deers are not that smart. So yeah.
Boy, do I have some stories for you guys. I almost don't know where to begin. Let's just say I always end up working in schools or colleges, and sometimes these colleges have very dark histories. And let's say because a lot of the buildings that these colleges are in used to be either psychiatric hospitals or an old church, something of that nature always. So I'm going to start off with the story when I worked in this one prestigious college, right? Now, in the summer, all of the students leave. You know, you guys go home, and you know that if you're in college, you go home for the summer. Some may stay back, you know, but they have to leave the building. And we always get happy about that time because then it gives us like a little break, right? So I'm thinking we're going to have an amazing summer. So I'm the supervisor of a building, and I get assigned to this one particular building, and this building always was creepy to me. The floors are black and white. It used to be a psychiatric hospital. There's an east wing, a west wing, and something about the way this building vibe is always rubbed me the wrong way. But I ignore it because, baby, when you got to bring a check in, you kind of just like try to ignore the things and the feelings sometimes that you get. So one particular day, I get assigned to this building. Okay, let's call this building the 20th Street building. So I get to go to the 20th Street building, and I have two guards that are with me. And I am a fire safety director, and then I have two guards, and they check the building, and I check the things that are important to the building. Really important, like the HVAC system, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're sitting down, and we're like in the front area of the lobby, and we're just like listening to a little music down low. Like I said, we vibing because there's no students, so we don't got to pay attention that hard. So we're like talking, listening to music, and all of a sudden we hear a door open. And I know that there's nobody in the building, okay? I know that that building is completely empty, and I know that my supervisor isn't there because he would tell me he's on his way, and he would come through the front door. So immediately we like turn down the music, and I'm like, wait a minute, turn the music all the way down. So we turned the volume all the way down, and we went to, you know, to make sure what we was hearing was correct. Because what it is there's a push bar in the back where we were sitting. There's a push bar down that hallway at the end of the hallway. You know, those push bars that you really have to click it and open it for you to get through those doors. It's not a swinging door, it's a push bar. So I start to creep over. I'm like, let me check. I'm like, I'm the supervisor of the building. Let me try to like muster up some balls and just like walk over there. So one of the guards that are with me, she's like, no, I'm going to come with you. So she's like creeping over me. So it's like this little wall right there. And then right around like the wall was where I had to look. So she creeps around with me and I look over in the corner, to see the push bar door to see what was happening. And the door just closed, open, and then opened and stayed open. And right away, they just started running. My heart is beating super fast at this point because I'm like, what the just open up the door. So I grabbed the walkie-talkie, I grabbed my cell phone, and they already had left. They exited the building, but I ran back into this little area where we sit in this little booth area, and I grabbed the things that I needed, like I said, the walkie-talkie and the phone, and I run out the building. I called my supervisor and I'm like, hey, there's something going on in this building. I said, the push bar doors open by themselves. And my other guards that are with me, they're like panicking. They were like, oh my God, there's ghosts. They're just going, ham. My supervisor's like, no, don't worry. There's nothing. There's like, it's probably not what you think. Maybe you're tired. Maybe because I had worked a double. Had nothing to do with it. I'm like, no, there's something in this building and I need to get out of it right now. We need to leave. Like, I'm not going to work here. So send somebody else here to relieve me out of this spot because I'm not going to do it. So after the gaslighting a little bit, they finally come down. My supervisor comes down and he's like, why don't we check the cameras? Did you think of that? Why didn't I check the cameras just to see? So my supervisor goes and he's checked the cameras and he sees the doors open like 3 times. He sees them close, close and open by themselves. And then that last time when it just stayed open and it was just nothing holding the door. He was like, yeah, I understand what you're saying now. There's definitely something going on here. I was like, get me out of this building and don't ever assign me to this building because I'm never going to work in this building again. I was like, I will leave this job first. Like, I'm not going to do it. So he was like, okay. He was like, listen, just don't say nothing. Don't scare the other guards. Just keep this to yourself. So the person that came to relieve me, I started telling them what's happening. I'm like, yo, watch yourself because there's definitely some ghosts, some spirits in this building. Something's happening. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, watch yourself. And he's like, nah, nothing. I'm not worried. I'm like, okay. I see him again the next day. I see him in our main building where we all go in to sign and find out what buildings we're going to be assigned to. He tells me, listen, I went to sleep in the lounge, he told me, and something held me down. He was like, I couldn't move. He said, no matter what I did, I couldn't move. He was like, finally, I just started screaming out like, leave me alone. I'm a black man. I have enough problems. He said, and finally he was able to get up. So he was like, you're not crazy. There is absolutely something very dark going on in this building, or that's like in this building. And that was just the beginning of the story of the 20th Street building. The guards started telling me all the things they experienced over the years. And some of them was so scary they could be on American Horror Story. And if you guys want to hear it, just let me know. But I promise you, don't watch this late at night when I'm about to tell you on the other stories. Promise you, keep the light on because what I'm about to share with you guys is going to rock your socks off.
So, go follow these creators. Go follow her, especially because she has more stories. Yeah, that was scary. That was wow. Cause Fred, like when you think about it, a lot of these schools and a lot of these high schools, I know in my area, the high school that I went to in that area, they're all very old. I think recently they just closed down to do a remodel because there was just a lot of dangerous stuff like asbestos and mold and all that stuff that was just a little, dangerous for the children and the everyone to be breathing in and stuff. So yeah, it's nice to know that these the colleges that she was working with used to be insane asylums. Like my college wasn't. It was brand new when it was made. Like it was nothing in this place, I don't think. Not any buildings anyway, in this place when they made my college. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if you knew the history about a college before you went to the college, would you go there? Because my college has history from the college, like the nursing department completely gone now because there was so much history on that. So yeah, knowing that, I didn't know that before I went to school, but when I got to school, I knew that. I don't know if I would have went there. Well, I don't know. It's like every place really has history, so it can't. Well, no, honestly, no. There's some places that don't have history. That history that's affecting you, in the present, Anyway, so yeah, Frey, you were very brave. Because if I heard that, I don't know, I feel like I would too. And not even thinking like ghosts or anything. I would just think that somebody just walked in or whatever. But kudos to her for going to investigate. And the person who came with her, because if the other person, like if there was 3 people and 2 went, and I was the 3rd person, I would have been with them. Like, you're not going to leave me here by myself. We're all going together. We're all going to do this together. We're going to get got. We're getting got together. I'm not getting got alone. What are we doing? So yeah, what I went to, oh girl, dipped, left her. She must have been black. Because ain't no, how you going to leave somebody, what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but that's how black people are, honestly. Once you see a black person running, like, they're trying to get away. So it's up to you to be aware of your surroundings and run with them when you see them running, because they're not going to be like, hey, I'm about to run. They're not going to be tapping on your shoulder and be like, oh, I'm about to run now. Like, no, you just got to know that we're running. We're running. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have ran. I would have been her in that situation. Like, I have been left so many times with my black friends. Like, so many stories of them leaving me because they just take off running. They're terrified and don't want to get got. Then just take off running. And I'm just like, oh, we're running. We're running. Thank goodness I'm a fast runner because I catch up and lead them. But yeah, no, friend. I'm mad you got left, but it kind of is, like there if she was black. Just like, yeah. So kudos to you for going back in, well, running to another room to get everything you need, because a lot of us just run and we get out and be like, oh snap, I didn't left this. What we gonna do now? So yeah, kudos to you for being the supervisor in charge. He asked, why did you check the cameras? Why do you think to do that? Why would I do that? Why would I go back in? I'm assuming you had to go back in to check to see if I saw what I saw. I know what I saw. So why would I go back in? You feel me? Why would I go back into the chance of getting got? Like, I didn't think about it because it was dumb. It was dumb. It was a dumb thought. I wasn't going to do it by myself. But these fools, I know they ain't going back in. So yeah, I'm glad that he actually saw what was going on. It was just like, oh yeah. Talking about, don't tell nobody. No, I'm going to tell somebody, especially as one of us. I'm going to tell you what's going on, honey. It's so crazy and ironic. Like, all this stuff in this video today has like kind of related to me, because he was saying that he got stuck in his sleep, had sleep paralysis this morning, woke up at like 12 something, sleep paralysis. And yesterday was a big day for me because I had to mow the grass, but I didn't mow all the grass. I just mowed my grandmama's acres of land. So I was exhausted. Got back home, like I started at like 7:30, got back home at like 3-4 o'clock. So yeah, after I took my shower, I was gone. I was knocked out sleep. Like, I was tired. I slept until I had to go to the gym this morning. That's how long I slept. But I woke up at 12 o'clock, which I was really confused with my sleep paralysis because I was in my dream. And in my dream, when I dream about the house that I currently live in, it's never this angle. It's always this angle, like a movie angle, like someone's watching, like looking into my life. It's never from my view of it. It always throws me off because it's like, whose house is this? Oh, this is my house, but at a different view. So in my dream, I guess I had just turned over to, in my sleep, I had just turned over to go to another stage of sleep. And when you have sleep paralysis, often you feel that you're about to drop. You feel that you're about to enter into it, but most of the times I could catch myself. But that time I could, like, I was in my dream, in my head, like, no, oh wait, no, like, no, I'm about to go into sleep paralysis. So it happens, and it's like I'm trying to wake myself up because I feel it happen. I didn't let it take me, but yet I let it take me this time and actually got up and started walking. But usually in my dream, if I get up and start walking, I walk in real life. But I didn't walk in real life. I was actually like walking in my dream, which is weird because this never happens when I have sleep paralysis. I am dreaming and seeing that I am stuck, but This sleep paralysis, I was up, walking around, walking over, and the whole time I'm just like definitely praying. And after a while, I just let it happen. And I'm just like walking around. And then once I let it happen and start walking around my house, I wake up. And it throws me off because the way I sleep on my side, at the edge of my bed, fan on, and the AC was on. And where my bed is positioned now in my room, both drafts, I feel the draft. It's cold, it's freezing because the air is right here. As you saw, my air is right here, so my bed is right here, so the air automatically goes to me while I'm sleeping, goes straight to my face. And then my fan is at my back, so I sleep on my side, I have air in my face and air in my back because my back gets really hot when I sleep. So it was no reason. Well, I guess because I was really tired, that could have been a reason for me to have sleep paralysis. But other than that, it was no reason for me to have sleep paralysis. None at all. When I went to sleep listening to cartoons, a new cartoon that I found. Like, it was no reason. So it was just like, oh, so I understand when he was like, oh no, I couldn't get up. I'm a black man. I got enough problems. So yeah, that is wild for you. I would not go back into that building. You couldn't even pay me. Like she said, you couldn't even pay me to go back in that building if that energy was, like that. Because it's like when you watch Beetlejuice, if you haven't seen it, I watched the old one on vacation and realized that, ooh, your spiritual journey, watching this, oh, that was nice. I could not go to sleep. I could not, because I was watching it, but I was really tired and I was about to go to sleep, but I could not go to sleep watching that because it was just so much going on. Like, when you actually analyze that movie, it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been watching. Like, think of all the movies I was banned from watching growing up. That should have been one. That, if you really think about it. So it's just, watching the old Beetlejuice, they had to go through stages to get as strong as they were to do stuff. Like, they couldn't just move stuff right off the bat when they died. They had to work up to that. So just thinking about that and seeing that it was moving that door and held it open. Oh, nah. What was you dealing with? Nothing that I want to find out about. Nothing. So, yeah.
Okay, so it took me a while. I'm late on this trend because I'm not really like big into TikTok, but I got time today, so I figured I would just tell my story. So me and my fiance and my son, we moved into this apartment. It's been like 3 years now, but so within like the first 2 months, like we like heard noises that like every house like makes noises. But we have cats, so like, obviously cats like look at things, so like we knew that like we weren't bugging like when we like heard these noises. But there was this one time that we were in our bedroom and we were getting ready to lay down for bed. And so the way our room is set up is our bed is like, in between like two windows, and then we have a closet over here, and the closet's door, or the closets, the doors like open and close or whatever. And so the closet door was open at this time, and so we both laid down in bed, and for some reason, like we look, and both of us saw this. We look over in the window, and the reflection of the closet in the window literally was like a tall black man. Like, we couldn't really see his features, but he was very tall. It looked like he was literally standing in our closet, like in between our clothes. We both saw the same exact thing. And he was wearing like some type of hat, but he was very tall and he was just standing like straight, and he was just like staring at the window. And we literally both were like, oh my God, we like jumped. And it was like so crazy. We were like, did you see that? Did you see that? And we're like, yeah. And we immediately got up and just like closed the closet. And like, I don't know, it was like a crazy night. And then, so once that happened, like, so we were like in contact with our neighbor downstairs. Like, she's moved out since then, but she would hear things all the time. And like that night I texted her and I was like, yo, I told her what happened or whatever. And she told me that she came home from work one night and she closed her front door, locked it, went in her kitchen, and she heard something, so she went back out in the living room. Her front door was wide open, so she closed the door, locked it again, went in her kitchen. Again, when she turned around, this woman was just standing behind her, and she was like scared. She really quickly turned around, closed her eyes, and when she opened them and turned back around, the woman was gone. But I have heard like a woman laughing like in my apartment too. Like one time I was using the bathroom and I heard like laughter and I was like, really? Like when I'm using the bathroom, you're gonna laugh at me? Okay, cool. But yeah, crazy times. And there was just this one more time that once again we were like sitting in our room and so our my son's room is right next to our room and I didn't see it, but my fiance saw like a guy with like a top hat, really tall black figure with a top hat going into my son's room. Luckily my son wasn't home, but yeah, I don't know. There's something wrong with this apartment. We did try to like sage like one time and I think we did it wrong. I mean, it worked for like a long time. Like it worked for a little while, but so we opened every single room in the apartment except for the bathroom window we forgot about. So as we were saging, we were trying to open the bathroom window and it's one of those windows that you have to like turn the like knob to open it and we've never had a problem opening it until we were saging and we tried opening it and it literally was like resisting, like it would not open. But I don't know, whatever. So yeah, that's the story of my haunted apartment.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Honey, what? You saw this dark. Well, she said black. I don't think she meant black like black, black. I think she meant black like black, black. Not black like me black, but black like old dark figure, shadow black. But either way, that's still scary. You see a black man in your closet with a top hat? Honey, what? First of all, it's two of us, so I would have been like, keep your eye on the ghost. I'm going to go check inside the closet. I'm not just going to shut the door. I'm going to check and see. Keep your eye on the ghost so you can see if this is a ghost or a real person, because we are not getting got. How many times do I have to say it? We're not getting got. No. So we're going to figure this out, honey. What? No. Because the moment she said that, it was just like, The moment she said she called her neighbor, and her neighbor was like, oh, I saw this woman. I wish somebody. Actually, I don't. I don't wish that, because that's endangerment to you. Don't come up behind me, because that woman was behind me after I didn't shut the door. First of all, after the first time, I'm gonna make a mental note, because if it happens again, we got a problem. The first time I'd be like, maybe I just forgot to lock the door, like, so the second and third time it happens and I turn around and you in my face, boo, you in my mug, bruh. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I'm gonna take a mug upside your head, homie. Because what are we doing? We're fighting now. That's what we're doing. You in my house? Honey, North Carolina, don't forget, I have the right to you get the pew on you and get away with it. That's my right to bear arms, honey. So you thought you was about to get in my house talking about I heard a woman giggling? Oh no, you know how we feel about giggling in this house. Nobody giggles. Anybody giggles like, why you giggling? Why we ain't laughing? We giggling. Why we giggling? Like, stop it. You on the toilet and somebody giggling at you? That's cute. No, we would have a problem. We would be figuring this out. We wouldn't be still at this apartment unless we're in this lease. But if we're in this lease, we can't break the lease without coming up with some money and nothing's crazy happening like the George thing. We're getting you out while it's still low. Like he's saying that he saw the guy walking into her son's room. No. You walk in, we walking in too, because you got to get out. Talking about, oh yeah, we couldn't get the window open. You know why? Because they didn't want you to. They was holding it down. They didn't want to leave. They was like, this is my space first. No, you need to go. Bye. Bye. Go on to heaven. Bye. You can't stay here. Like, what are we doing? No, stop it. I ain't even like it. I didn't like it because the moment she was saying about the woman, my eye teared up a little bit. Felt my nose about to bleed. Like, nope, stop it. Don't like any of this at all. Subscribe.